in what they call the civil rights movement. And how we can clearly see that in 2017, nothing could be further from the truth. And that maybe there were just certain cosmetic changes that were made, but nothing deep. When I hear this brother giving that speech back in 1964, I am reminded that that was before the years of the rebellion, because as we know, this is the 50th anniversary of the North and the Detroit Rebellion, which didn't happen all that far from Chicago. And they had hundreds of rebellions all throughout that time, hundreds of them, and many of them armed. Right after the North Rebellion, which happened July 12, 1967, 3 days later in Plainfield, New Jersey, the Plainfield Rebellion happened. And they were armed. They broke into an armory, and the outcome was completely different. Whereas in Newark, the police in the state just went into Newark and sprayed all throughout the city of Newark. They sprayed people with bullets and homes and all of that. In Plainfield, when they were armed, that didn't happen like that. And there was one fatality. It was a police officer, a white police officer. So even more, speaking to the importance of why we need to understand and why we say it is the ballot and the bullet. When we look back to that history right up until today, African people continuously being gunned down in the street. Continuously, whenever we talk about any statistic in this country of Africans, but not just in this country, globally, will have the worst of all the outcomes under a racist, imperialist order. So now more than ever, we say the ballot and the bullet. We thought when we began to have the right to be able to vote, and when we began to elect people with black faces, people who looked like us, we did so thinking that they were going to represent us. And we would learn some hard, cold lessons that was not the case at all. And I remember at one point when I was growing up, and when I had thought, erroneously that we had arrived, and I'm thinking, oh wow, things had changed somewhat, but only to graduate to learn the cold hard fact that it had not changed. But yet when I was looking for help, because we thought that there was this movement, and we thought we had these politicians and stuff, and when I was personally looking for that, I discovered such a void. And I had to learn some lessons that I had to become what I was also looking for. And I remember at some point there just seemed to be an absence of people really wanting to talk the way we needed to be talking about 2 and 3 and 4 Americas, about the fact that it was not the same for us, and about the fact that we should not be trying to mingle in, because it seemed like the political thought then was to mesh together. How do we get into this system? How do we work this system in a system that continues to do nothing but work us? So I remember there was a website that somebody told me about, a publication called The Black Commentator, and I would read that and I was like, yes, wow, this is dynamic, hard-hitting, really strongly being critical of what was going on within our community, but also within the Black body politic. And at some point, I remember reading from that website, and they talked about how there was a coalition that was organized called the Black is Back Coalition. And named Black is Back because it was an honor of the armed and the strong and the progressive and the dynamic revolutionary history that we have in terms of fighting against oppression and standing up to what was going on. And especially at that time, the Black is Back Coalition was founded in 2008. But we also saw that there was going to be a new dynamic in terms of what we thought was power. And that was with the election of the first, quote unquote, Black president, and what that meant, that we needed to do. And so we have hit the ground organizing strongly with the determination that we were going to tell our struggle and our story, that we were going to tell it unabashedly so. That we were Black, we're Black is back, and in your face, Black is back, but based on history, based on strong critical analysis. And so we are a coalition of organizations who organize around certain principles of unity, like the fight against colonialism and neo-colonialism, equal democratic representation for all, respect for the ideological differences within our organizations, and we also resolved that our disagreements would happen through a democratic process. And we stand in solidarity with African people worldwide. So these are some of the points of unity that we had rallied around. And so this is what we come here to you with in Chicago. And I just want to do a few housekeeping things. We have got to run a very, very tight ship in terms of time. And we have before us right here, Sister Zenobia, would you please stand up? She is our timekeeper, so we must be respectful of her in terms of the time. And she is telling me right now, showing me my time, so I'm going to wind down. But before going any further, I must just also say that the chairman and one of the founding members of the Black is Back Coalition will not be able to be here with us today. He has left a few words that I just wanted to say to you. And he had to have eye surgery, so this is the first time in 8 years that he cannot be with us. But he has said that he is so confident and so proud to know that an organization has been built up with the infrastructure that whether he is able to be here or not, or whether any one of us is able to continue on or be here, that we will still carry on with the work. And he too has said that in this era, and then we talk about the issue of the ballot or the bullet, that it is going to be critical for us to confront this period as we advance the national Black political agenda and our the 19 points for self-determination that we developed, which we will be going over throughout this conference. But anyway, without further ado, we will continue on with the schedule. Next, we wanted to bring up our artist in the house, Limitless Sounds. Yeah. Okay, my brother, you got the floor.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I like that. How y'all feeling?
All right.
Good. I love being a part of this type of stuff. Anytime people talking about liberation, especially in the hood on the South Side, I like to hear it. Yeah. I like to be a part, and I'm humble to my ancestors to be a part. I don't even like to talk too much. I ain't paying no offering. I won't be at no marches. My God body too big to fit in the coffin. Won't catch my knees at no altar. Won't believe in their authors. That's history that they alter. The mysteries that they torture. I ain't voting for office. They ain't got shit to offer. Unless they make some laws to keep them officers up off of us. Won't be an early martyr. Learn from my OGs to be smarter. Every time I breathe, I'm a target. My action don't need no talking. I'm not pleading to the system for actions of reparations. I won't ask the devil to be nothing less than a Satan. Dr. King said his biggest mistake was integration. Pan-African rap bring us back to a separate nation. But please do not mistake this for physical separation. Just owning our own business to fund our education. I own grocery stores. I own beauty supplies. I own schools and everything else that we've been denied. We don't die because we fight and rise through the pain. The sun in the sky, you still see when it rains. The only thing we have to lose is our chains. The only thing we're going to lose is our chains. Do a revolution seem hard for you? Read too many books, too many articles, how smart are you?
I refuse to argue fools of what blacks ought to do. Are you buying black? Are you giving back? Do you even read? Do you know the facts? Instead of complaining about what others lack and how much is talk and how much is action. I do not believe in a televised revolution, because those with solutions don't need to be noticed using them. The FBI on Facebook, so no more hashtagging shit. Fuck being a pacifist and social media activist. Black economics get money, save money, then invest it. Then boycott the businesses that funding our oppression. Say Michael to you devil, say the army can never stop me. On my Muammar Gaddafi power by Lower Dumari tribe.
Yeah.
Say I am limitless, and so are you. I am limitless, and so are you. I believe in positive affirmations. I go by the name of Limitless Sounds, Pan-African Trap Solution rap artist. I just dropped my album called Ignorant Intelligence, where I merged Pan-Africanism and trap music in order to put the medicine in the candy to give it to the youth. Make some noise for that. You know, grew up on the east side of Chicago. I ain't gonna talk too much because I just like to let the music speak for itself. If you're interested, I got flyers, got CDs, I got t-shirts. You feel me? All of the above. Did we get my music? If not, it don't even matter because I can rock it. All right, well, it's cool. I say, no, we don't need no soul clap, but I like it though. I like how it's community based. I do believe black economics is the future. I do believe group economics, right? You know what I mean? Putting your money into the community, investing in black faces, highly important. So I wrote this song called 100 Bands. And you know, a lot of rappers talk about getting money, but I say when you get your money, what you gonna do with it? So I say, get to the money, boy, that be priority. We doing major, but we not minorities. Pushing the 4V, money that's overseas, black accountant, that's on counting and overseas by the owner, bro. I never paid the lease, so I'm gonna get a couple knots. And I'm going by the block. We don't get a couple stores, nigga, we don't need a lot. Put a band on the cops, get some land for some crops. Put the money in the stocks, nigga, I be looking at my watch, got the signs on my clock, let's get it. Everywhere my name glow, I don't wear no chain though. Boy, this ain't no slave though. Hell, I need a bank for gold money and safe dough. Sell high when I pay low. I've been eating healthy, but my pocket's out of shape though. Whoa, 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 whoa. But these niggas talking about it. They ain't talking about this shit. Whoa, 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 whoa. Get into the money. All these other hitters counterfeit. Whoa. Watch I flip it. I won't throw it on a stripper. Money go fat, fat, fat. Look at my wrist. Watch how I flick it. It be about that time. I brought my grind. And nigga, I was out my mind. Out for size. All my food alkaline without combining. Anything below a 9. I glow, I shine. I still live optimistic. He stop the vision. For the cops is killing the stocks in prison. The thug with 2 pocket wrist so documented. Then I go and pop it with it. A doctor niggas try. Okay, y'all feel this a little bit? We waking up. I know like it's morning time. Somebody had their coffee. Hopefully this wake you up. You know what I'm saying? I got more time for one more? Maybe? Keep the time, 1 minute? What do you do in 1 minute? I say, let's see. Show me love, then watch I double that love back. But if you choose to hate, don't ask me where the love at. I go into your hood and ask you where the thugs at. Point me to the dope dealer, show me where the drugs at. I turn your thought into a queen, your nigga to a god. When I remove the screens and tear down the facades. We dying faster than we populating. Fuck your career if revolution ain't your occupation. Put down your picket signs where your business mind, hitter. I only buy black owned, that's where I'm spending mine, hitter. It's time to own our own. Fuck forensic science, hitter. Get money, bring it back, invest in every dime, hitter. Fuck the police, we policing our own. Busting at the cops so they leave us alone. Nah, you ain't gotta beg my pardon. Oh no, not again. These niggas that got me started. So play this for your church, play this for your mosque. Play this for your mom, recite it for your God. Play this for your kids, or play this for your temple. If you ain't playing this, then bully it at your temple. Oh no, please don't get me started. Oh no, please don't get me started. Oh no, please don't get me started. 300, I'm a spotter. You don't really want it. That's my time. I go by Limitless Sounds. If you like what you heard, come get a flyer out of my hand. CDs and t-shirts. Thank y'all. Peace and light.
Thank you so very much. Another loud, revolutionary black round of applause for our revolutionary, political, progressive, young, black, and beautiful artist. We're now going to just introduce the members of the steering committee, some of the folks that so-called like oil the wheels and that keep this coalition going. And again, first we want to give thanks to the founder, one of the founding members of the Black is Back Coalition, and that is our chairman, Brother Omali Yeshitela. He is the founding member of the African People's Socialist Party and the leader of the Uhuru movement. So yes, let's give a round of applause for our chairman, our Uhuru. The next member of the steering committee that we will introduce is myself, Lisa Davis. I'm a longtime community activist. I happen to be a member of the People's Organization for Progress. I'm from New Jersey. Woo! New Jersey in the house. And I am also the vice chair of the Black is Back Coalition. Uhuru. Oseno, we are the next person, Oseno Mbenga. He is our treasurer. And unfortunately, he cannot be here with us today, but he is also a strong political revolutionary activist out of the DC area. He is the treasurer. He is he's been with the Black is Back Coalition for a long time. And we will definitely be showing his picture, bring his picture up as well. But he is our treasurer, and he cannot be here with us today physically, but he is here with us in spirit. Uhuru! And Sister Elikia Ngoma, who is our secretary. Uhuru! Let me tell you something right now about this young sister. She has really stepped up and filled some powerful shoes because she makes sure that she takes our minutes. She's at every meeting. She records them. She keeps us on track. She gives us these action items, and I'm not always so thrilled when I see my name by all these action items. I'm like, what? I said I was going to do all of that. But anyway, she really helps to keep us on track. Her work is so appreciated. She is with the African People's Socialist Party and in PETA, which stands for the International People's Democratic Uhuru Movement. Uhuru. And his next brother, I mean, he hears me say it so many times, I just can't stop saying it, but he is just one of the most revolutionary, one of the most strong Black journalists, not just Black journalists, but journalists, period. But who definitely is involved in our struggle, who never ever turned away from his people, where he came from, who was strong and fierce and putting our views forward and in telling it like it is, not to borrow from another well-known program. But this is Brother Glenn Ford. He is the founding member of the Black is Back Coalition. He is also one of the founders of the Black Commentator and the Black Agenda Report. I know you all know about that, but if you don't know about the Black Agenda Report, you need to know. www.blackagendareport.org. Come, but the Black Agenda Report. Uhuru Brothers, Glenn Ford. Our next brother who cannot be here with us, unfortunately. No, I'm sorry, I misread. Yeah, our next brother, Brother Khalid Rahim, who is with the New African Independence Party. And unfortunately, Brother Khalid Rahim, I don't think he's going to be able to be a part of this conference. We initially thought that he would be able to be, but he's not going to. I got word that he won't be able to make it today after all. But just to tell you a little bit more about our brother, he is the chair of the New African Independence Party based in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And the New African Independence Party is a political party dedicated to the pursuit of social justice, human rights, and self-group determination on behalf of Black and new African people. And he is a strong, dynamic brother that we are so proud to have him as a part of the Black is Back Coalition. Brother Zaki Baruti, he comes out of the St. Louis area. He is with the Universal African Peoples Organization. And just bear with me a moment. He is the president and general of the Universal African Peoples Organization out of St. Louis, Missouri. In addition, in 1984 and 1988, he ran for the Democratic nominee for Missouri government. He has served as co-coordinator of the Green Party in Missouri, where he was also the party's candidate for governor in 2000. And in 2014, he was a write-in candidate for St. Louis County Executive seat. Brother Zaki Baruti. Woo! Our next member of the coalition, of the steering committee, is Sister Betty Davis with the New Abolitionist Movement. I know that she is in town. She will be here with us, although she is not here just yet. But Sister Betty Davis, she is a strong revolutionary activist and has done a lot of work in the field of education. She is an education activist, a strong community person out of New York City, and she will be here later on. We will have a forum that she will be conducting on tomorrow. So please make sure that you do come back tomorrow, and you will definitely want to hear this dynamic and strong sister. Ralph Pointer, who is also not yet present in the House, but he will be joining us shortly. Ralph Pointer is the chair of our political prisoners working group, and he too has a very strong and long, illustrious history in terms of fighting for education, educational rights. I mean, he was in the school system in New York and took it by storm. And he's also a strong proponent of political prisoners. And some of you may have heard of our people's attorney, Lynn Stewart, who recently made her transition. Ralph Pointer and Lynn Stewart were life partners. And Ralph led a successful campaign to free her from when she was wrongfully imprisoned. Our next member of the steering committee, Brother Diop Olubala, who we will be hearing more from. He is the chairperson of the Black Community Control of the Police Working Group, strong community activist out of the Philadelphia area, and we will definitely be hearing more from this brother as the program goes on. And to the right of me, we have Brother Temba Shabanda. He is with agitation and propaganda, does a whole lot of work in terms of putting our message out there and traveling with the chairman, a strong, dynamic brother. Sister Nellie Bailey is also a part of our coalition, of our steering committee. She is with the Harlem Tennis Association out of New York, another strong sister. She will not be able to be here with us today, but we have her photograph right there. And she works with the Harlem Tennis Association, and I know her well, and I love her, a strong community activist. Brother Cam Howard, is he in the house? I think he had to pick up Brother Charles Barron, but Cam Howard worked with getting us this university in Chicago. We definitely wanted to be in Chicago for this. And he is the chair of the reparations committee within Black is Back, and he's within Cobra Chicago and the Amos T. Wilson Institute. The next brother that we will be announcing is Brother Lawrence Ham out of New Jersey of the People's Organization for Progress, a strong, dynamic community activist for years serving his community strongly and profoundly. And certainly we have last that I'm about to announce but not least, Richard Pietrachita, our web designer. And also when you see these beautiful logos and you see these signs and you see all of these things and these beautiful t-shirts, that is the work of our brother Richard. He keeps up our websites, and he's also created a powerful app. If you go to the App Store and look up Black is Back, you have got to download that app. He is the creator of that app, and we want to really work it. And I thank you so much. This is the steering committee. And let's give everybody a round of applause for all the work that they have done. And we want to build more members. If you're not a member of this coalition, or if your organization is not a member, please become a member. You will definitely have a voice. And one way to have a voice is through representation on our steering committee. We do a lot of important work. And now it's Sister Yesterday, Ramila, with us. She is going to be giving a financial report. We want to know about the finances of the Black is Back Coalition. We believe in complete transparency, and she is here to give us a financial report. Oh, there she is. I'm looking old now. I this shit. Oh, now? Yeah, right now. Sorry, 1 second. You just want to get it up on the screen? Oh, wonderful. That's great. Great. Okay. So this is just going to be a brief overview of 1 minute. This is going to be a brief overview of the financial reports for the last year. Okay. So we believe, like Sister Lisa just said, in absolute transparency. We want you to know where your money has gone to, when we've done fundraising calls, your memberships, your donations and pledges, and the money that are left in our bank account after all of that is said and done, how it moves forward to make everything we get happen. So, scroll on down. So we're going to start with April 2016. I'm not going to go through every single thing, but pretty much we had a projected budget of $3,190, and we actually made these calls for resources where we got the money through vending tables, shirts, hoodies, membership, and the sales of shirts and hoodies. And then that we were able to make $3,190 through that process. We had a budget or expenses that were paid out. That was equivalent to $1,464. And then we had a balance left over of $1,726. So when we moved on from, and that was the event. This was the Black is Back April 9, 2016 conference that we held. Okay, in August 13th and 14th, we had a preparatory conference in Washington, D.C. that talked about the Black political agenda for self-determination. And at that time, we had a current balance of $22.42, and we got that. Then we got additional monies that came into our account through registrations and membership, and then donations and the list of donors that contributed to the membership as well. And then we also had a PayPal deposit that came through another source. We had vendors who contributed by buying tables, and that was the equivalent of $50, and then T-shirts sales, which was equivalent to $380. And then some of our expenses were printing, the venues, papers, breakfast foods, tablecloths, and things to help prepare for the event, to build for the event that was $2,659. And so we actually obviously had a loss here because the expenses were more than the income. But then we got some more pledges that came in through some of these comrades here. Malia Chatella, the chair of the coalition, James Grant, y'all, APSP membership dues, and Kuna, $25. So this is how your money goes toward those organizations. Don't fund anything else. You depend on donations and memberships in order to push forward and carry out some of our work. So this is 2016 election and the struggle for self-determination. The current balance started out is
$3,303.28 that was already in the bank. And we got all of our money through donations from the member organizations, donations that came in from elsewhere. I won't go over all of these, but you can see them for yourselves. And then we had, through that process, $3,008.48 total everything up. And then the expenses were $26.48. And so we had a profit of $160, and then we had additional pledges in the amount of $664, in addition to some of the pledges that, because they're pending, I'm assuming that we didn't get the pledges, but we did have people who had pledged this money at the time. We're counting that in. And lastly, this is the last report, April 1st, 2017, the electoral campaign school that happened in St. Petersburg, Florida. And we started here. I'm sorry, I'm reading this report for our comrade, Senator Benda, absent. So when I refer to he, I'm talking about him. He laid out some of the expenses that we paid in terms of airline tickets, housing, food and catering, the banner and printing. So all together, we incurred an expense of $2,937.13, and but we didn't pay the $550. I'm not sure what that is referring to, but I'm sure that that will resolve at some point. And then we had cash donations that total, I don't have the exact total here, but as you can see, we had donations from Charles Barron, John Dew, somebody called Atlanta, Chairman Garaja, Joseph Barber, USF State, also made donations. So we had, I guess what has not been received. In any case, this is all just to let you know that, you know, when we carry out these events, that we are really relying on our membership and donations to make it happen, and that is because of the participation of the people that we are able to have these conferences to talk about the important issues that we are talking about today. So I just want to appreciate your time, and hope that you are clear on how we spend our money, and we want to hold ourselves accountable to the people that donate. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, our sister Yedide and to Brother Oseno for that very, very detailed report. We greatly appreciate it. Now we are going to move to the working group segment of our conference, and where we will really get into the work of the organization and what we have been doing. And much of what we do, much of the work, much of the initiatives that we put forward come through the working group. So please, brothers and sisters, as you are hearing us give our reports, as you are hearing us put forward our initiatives, please think about any of these working groups that you would like to join. And that's very important. And also, I am going to ask as the timekeeper, because I will bring my report in at 10 minutes. We are running on a very, very tight schedule because we have to be out of the university by 4 o'clock. We want to be respectful of time. So again, please, when you're up here, please remember to give our timekeepers respect and give you 10 minutes. I will bring this report in under 10 minutes. And that's to get us back on track with time. I happen to be the chair of the healthcare working group. And recognizing that many of us, especially those of us on the front lines of the movement, when we are dealing with the police and when we are dealing with the courts and all that kind of stuff, we usually will organize and be prepared and know that we got to get people with us. We would never go into those courtrooms by ourselves. I mean, we would never do that, especially those of us on the front line of the movement. But with the medical profession, I noticed that it was quite different. And that is a profession that I have always said that has been as ruthless and as racist and as vicious as its police counterpart. And the history of medicine, especially what they call modern medicine in this country, but not just in this country, but also globally, is about the experimentation on African people. So we definitely needed to have a healthcare working group to really bring these issues forward, but also to be there for our comrades, especially those of us who knew a lot about natural health and healing modalities. So that is how the healthcare working group came to be founded. And the chairman, with all the talk that we are hearing about Obamacare and Trump talk that I'm going to replace this, we hear about single-payer health care. The chairman asked if we could do a little bit of research about this and come to the conference with some ideas about how we can begin to implement, or something that we should be looking for in terms of implementing our 19-point platform. And healthcare, free universal quality healthcare, is point number 14 on our 19-point platform. You should have this in your packet. If you do, please pull it out and look at our 19-point platform for the Black self-determination that we had adopted a little over a year ago. But point number 14 does deal with free universal quality health care for all, and I will just read this briefly. By a public system that serves the health needs of entire communities as well as individuals. Given that group health outcomes are closely linked to group political and economic status, past and present, a universal health care policy must provide both equal care to all, regardless of social and financial circumstances, and restorative care to historically oppressed communities, which require political self-determination to achieve social and biological wellness. And so the healthcare working group, we began to look at this a little bit more and try to